And we're back. This is episode 4 of the Hearthstone card review for Menace at the Darkmoon Faire. Remember what I told you guys at the end of last episode, at the end of episode 3, where I said we would be moving on to phase 2 for episodes 4 through 7? Scratch that. Taco and I have reached an agreement where we would stay in phase 1, and the reason for that is, as you can see from the title, we've got 51 out of 135 cards revealed only. That is like not even half of the cards have been revealed yet. And so Taco and I found it really, really difficult to predict what would be like what tier each of these decks would be in, which is what we would need to do for phase 2. So all in all, we're staying in phase 1. We would like to remain talking about the potential of cards rather than what deck they would actually fit into. And since last episode, we have Bladed Lady and Onwards to review. So we've got 11 cards this time around, and we have classes getting flushed out more and more. We've got a few Mage cards this time around. We've got a few Rogue cards, Demon Hunter cards, and all that stuff. If you can see from this beautiful table, this beautiful chart on Reddit, we do have a good chunk of cards for quite a few of the classes. Most of the classes have either half or more of their cards revealed, with Shaman and Priest having 1 and 2 cards revealed respectively out of their 8 of the set. And that's why we find it so difficult to predict the meta, because 2 classes we just don't even know anything about at all, almost. Phase 1 is what we're in, and we're going to be talking about the potential. But after that, let me introduce my co-host Taco. Taco, how you doing?
Doing pretty good. How are you, Dara?
I'm good too. Good enough. Short intro, short and sweet. Let's go right into the first card, which would be exactly Bladed Lady. So Bladed Lady, a 6-mana Demon Hunter card, is a 6-mana 6/6 rush. Costs 1 mana if your hero has 6 or more attack. So I have this actually, despite how powerful it looks, I have this at 2 stars. I think it's really, really strong. This is individually such a really busted card, actually, because it's 1 mana 6/6 rush, potentially. But I have it at 2 stars because I think 6 attack is just really, really hard for a Demon Hunter to hit like early enough that this matters. So, going through the Demon Hunter archetypes right now that are popular, we have Aggro Demon Hunter and Soul Demon Hunter. Aggro Demon Hunter really loves to curve really low, make sure that all of their cards are really easy to put on the board, and that's because of Voracious Reader. And the new card, Stilt Stepper, which is also a Demon Hunter card we reviewed in an earlier episode, which is really incentivizing you to curve super low so you can play the top card that you draw off of it for this +4 attack on your hero. And so Aggro Demon Hunter finds it really hard to include this, and Soul Demon Hunter, when they make such a large amount of attack, really wants to invest in a Blade Dance rather than a Bladed Lady. And so I have this at 2 stars because it needs to find a new deck to fit into, and that new deck would be some kind of Control Demon Hunter. Possibly a Highlander Demon Hunter would run this, but that is a meme deck that rose in popularity only last expansion for a little bit, and so I have this at 2 stars ultimately.
Yeah, I agree. 2 stars. It's pretty powerful for what it is, but it's hard to get out. And even the impact of getting it out, like, we kind of have a feeling Paladin's going to be kind of good, and a 6-mana 6/6 rush doesn't really do that much against their Divine Shield Taunt Walls.
Yeah.
So a little bit skeptical this will see serious play.
Yeah. Let's move on to the next card, another Demon Hunter card. This is a Demon Hunter Legendary card, and it is Zai the Incredible. It is a 5-mana 5/3 with Battlecry to copy the left and rightmost cards in your hand.
Yep. Yeah, this is very good flavor for Demon Hunter. The Outcast mechanic, you copy your left and rightmost cards, maybe you get an extra Outcast. But the problem is, like, it's kind of like the previous card. Control Demon Hunter doesn't really exist. Maybe if Kael'thas wasn't nerfed, you could do something crazy where you copy things, keep spamming Kael'thas, get to that OTK turn. But as it is, I don't see it. I think this is a 2-star card with potential, but not in this current card pool.
Yeah, I actually totally agree. This is a 2-star card for me as well. For the almost the exact same reasons why Bladed Lady is a 2-star card, I think those reasons apply exactly to Zai. Aggro Demon Hunter doesn't want a 5-mana 5/3 that draws 2 cards about. So yeah, we can roughly equate this effect to drawing 2 cards, right? And yeah, Aggro Demon Hunter actually doesn't run Spectral Sight. It doesn't run Chaos Strike, and so yeah, there's no precedent for this to be an aggro. It does, however, run Skull of Gul'dan, and that's what we have to compare this card to. Skull of Gul'dan is sometimes a negative 3 mana, draw 3, and so Zai looks really bad when you compare it to that. Soul Demon Hunter doesn't run Spectral Sight, so yeah, we don't think that Soul Demon Hunter will do that either. Or at least I don't think, my bad. I don't think that Soul Demon Hunter will run this either, and so we're looking for a Control Demon Hunter again, quite like Highlander Demon Hunter, and so 2 stars.
Yeah, and this is just really bad in Soul Demon Hunter. Like a 5-mana 5/3 is just not gonna. It doesn't help your game state at all.
Yeah, the other 5-mana cards in that deck are like what?
Lapidary.
Gravebound Adept, sometimes Lapidary, which like aim to kill the opponent instead of generating value. So yeah, don't generate value, just kill your opponent.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like a great plan.
Yeah, that's it, right? That's all we've got for this one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sweet. Let's move on to the next card. These are churning out fast. Right. Next card is my card. I've selected this card to review this set specifically away from Taco. He actually wanted to review it as well, but I took it first. He gladly gave it to me because he knows that I love Rogue, and this is a Rogue card. Tenwu of the Red Smoke. It is a 2-mana 3/2 Rogue Legendary with Battlecry. Return a friendly minion to your hand. It costs 1 this turn. So why did I take this one? First of all, I have it as 4 stars. I think this is a really sweet Rogue card. This is Shadow Step, right? This is just reminiscent of Shadow Step, where you get to pick up one of your strong battle cries or combos and just replay it for their battle cry or combo effect. Where it differs from Shadow Step is that it only costs 1 this turn, so that mana discount that you get from Shadow Step is not preserved through the turns. So you do have to kind of replay that minion right away. And the reason why I selected this card specifically this time is because it goes perfectly into my favorite deck of all time. Let me just rename this. This is a little confusing. But this is Gala Rogue. Galakron Rogue is my favorite deck of all time. And it goes perfectly into this deck. And it does so much in this deck, actually. It synergizes with Edwin. You can pick up Edwin and replay him, kind of healing him, give him more stats. It synergizes with Miscreant. You can pick up the Miscreant, replay him, get more lackeys. Lackeys are really good for maintaining tempo and gaining tempo themselves. You can do something as simple as picking up Shield of Galakron and replaying it just to invoke your Galakron a little more. You can do something really, really powerful like picking up Heist Baron, playing him for 1, getting another treasure. Like Kronks is the same thing. Replay him. Play him again for another devastation, and something as simple as even bouncing Jandis and holding her for next turn is something really strong that Tenwu can do. And so, because Galakron Rogue is currently a tier 2 deck, I am putting Tenwu at 4 stars for that. Yep.
Yeah, I have this as a 5-star card. I'm more high on Galakron Rogue if things like this come out. And also with the meta slowing down, where Galakron Rogue isn't getting chunked by Soul Demon Hunter every turn, it could be more tier 1-ish, because right now it's a high tier 2 deck. Tenru, yeah, this card is good. It's a 3-mana, basically a 3-mana Shadow Step. It costs the card you bounce back costs 1 this turn. And so sometimes you're tempted to like save the extra mana for it, but you don't have to. Like bouncing a Kronk sometimes is just so game breaking because of that burst damage that it does, that you could just bounce the Kronks, try to survive, and then play it, burn your opponent to death, or just heal out of range. I think this card definitely sees play. 5 stars.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, if Rogue sees play at all in this meta, for sure it's 5 stars, actually. So actually, wait, that's right, this is phase 1 still. I don't have to do this tiering stuff, which is what I actually have in these notes. But so in that, for that reasoning, I actually have to bump it up to 5 stars, because I think that it will definitely see play in some type of Rogue in this meta. So yes, Tenwu is a 5-star card according to my thought process now. My notes I have to fix with 5 stars. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Just picking up something and not even playing it this turn is something really strong you could do with Tenwu as well. And naturally, any Rogue that curves higher The higher the rogue curves, the better Tenwu is, because you do want to pick up larger and larger minions with Tenwu, because the mana discount is insane. It just makes the card cost 1, right? So you do want to pick up those Kronxes, you do want to pick up those Janices, you do want to pick up those Shields of Galakrons, or something along that, the 5, 6, and up type of mana costs. More so than you want to pick up those Feral Cats and Wand Thieves that are in this deck, as well. But it's still strong to pick these up. They're not bad to pick up. They generate value, and value is good.
Yeah, they're also cheap combo activators.
Yeah,
as well. So you can also set up for a miscreant turn on the following play. It's good.
Yep, a lot of things you can do with Tenwu.
You can bounce Zeph as well.
Bouncing Zeph as well. I don't think you should ever mention Highlander Rogue to me, but yes, we can bounce Zeph. We can talk about bouncing Zeph. Yeah, just good card, good all around. I feel like this will be a Rogue staple, at least for the next expansion. Possibly for all of its standard lifetime, it might be a Rogue staple. Yeah, definitely look forward to crafting this card if you are entering this expansion. If you want to play Rogue, of course. But yeah, let's move on to the next card, which is another Rogue card. This time it's a Rogue spell. Malevolent Strike, a 5-mana Rogue spell. Destroy a minion. Costs 1 less for each card in your deck that didn't start there. So this one is Taco's selection of this episode. He really wanted to talk about Tenwu, but I took it from him, so he decided to take the other Rogue card instead. So yeah, Taco, take it and let me see what you got to say.
Rogue cards are just interesting. So at the face value, without any discounts, this is just Assassinate. So at worst, you're playing Assassinate. Is that good? Not really, but it's passable. The reason I chose this card was because of how interesting Coerce was and how much it really changed a lot of how much it solved a lot of problems that I had as Rogue.
Star rating, by the way.
Star rating. I think this is a 3-star card because I think discounting it is going to be a little bit too difficult to get to. It's hard removal when discounted is just good. We had that card that came out in this in the card reveal. I think you know which one I'm talking about.
Ticketmaster, right?
Yep, you can play Ticketmaster in this. I mean, that's probably not. I mean, that's something you can do. It's probably not super consistent.
Yeah.
In what you're trying to accomplish of discounting this, and I think Blizzard will probably release something that makes discounting this easier. Also, Cthulhu. Cthulhu Rogue is also looking better because one of the Cthulhu pieces happens to be a board clear, and that's something that you have as a Rogue. If you're constantly applying pressure, removing things, you can kind of survive as a Rogue if the meta slows down, provided you keep generating resources, you don't die, and you can get to that turn where you play Cthulhu. Might be some potential there, but we'll have to see more cards. Gosh. That's why I just gave it 3 stars.
3 stars. Okay, you're very optimistic, and I know this is actually something that you have to be optimistic for this card because you were optimistic for. I think you were optimistic for Ticketmaster as well when we reviewed Ticketmaster, and you were optimistic for Shek'Zara, the other the Rogue Legendary that drew a card from your deck or discovered a card from your deck to draw, which is over somewhere here. Yeah, but it was a 6-mana one that we just reviewed last episode. So if you think that's 3 stars, you think this is 3 stars, which is fair. I unfortunately thought those were both 1-star cards. I think Rogue will never play them, and so same thing. I think Rogue will never play this. This is a 1-star card. You mentioned Coerce. I actually want to also bring up on top of that Blackjack Stunner as well as Sap, which is essentially those effects, those bounce effects are essentially like destroying a minion, because I mean those cards remove minions from the board, no matter what size they are. So they are kind of hard removal in my eyes. And so Rogue does really like these hard removal effects, but they just have better versions of it that don't cost 5 mana at base, and then are waiting to be discounted. So yeah, 1 star. The best case for this is usually you have to set it up with Ticketmaster, and 1 Ticketmaster dying makes this a 2-mana destroy minion. That's actually really good. That's honestly a really good spell. But that's somewhat near the level of Coerce, which Rogue has Rogue does not run at all in this meta. None of the 3 viable Rogues in this meta run Coerce or even consider it. So yeah, 1 star to me, sadly.
That's true, but I think it's also because Coerce, I didn't really explain that too well. Coerce, is a very good card, and I played it a little bit in the beginning, even though it wasn't meta. The problem with it was just the consistency of getting that combo off,
Yeah.
and that also costs mana. That could easily be a 4 mana. Like I don't think you get coerce. Maybe sometimes you backstab something or you shadow step. You actually do get coerce for 3 mana, but a lot of times it's going to cost you 4 plus a combo piece, which is whatever impact on the board it may be. This thing, if you just shuffle 1, I don't want to say it's about as good as a course, but it feels a lot like a course. And so
that's true.
There might be something there.
Yeah, but it just makes sense. We're consistent with our own ratings. I think this whole package is a 1-star. You think it's a whole package of 3 stars. So sure. I guess we just have to agree to disagree here. You're more hopeful for this than I am. I think Rogue just does a lot stronger things on 5 mana than it just does a lot better at removing things than spending putting a 5 mana basically putting Assassinate in their deck with some small upside. But yeah, let's stop talking in circles about this card and let's move on to the next one. We just agree to disagree. It's fine. We'll see. When I'm right, you'll have to bow down to me or something, and when you're right, I'll have to I don't know, bow down to you or something. Right. So, well, I'm gonna be right, by the way. Just letting you know. But anyway, next card. Let me cut you short there. Next card is Fire Breather. It is a Warlock minion. It is a 4 mana 4/3 with Battle Cry. Deal 2 damage to all minions except demons. This is also a demon, so it does synergize with itself, I guess, if you want to play 2 of them in the deck. But regardless, I think this card is actually really, really powerful. What it does is actually really, really strong. Again, one of the strongest things in Hearthstone. Clearing minions while developing minions is really, really powerful. It gives you a lot of tempo back. But I actually think this card, despite all of the talking it up, is actually 3 stars. And the reason I think that, with our current limited information, it's 3 stars. And the reason I think that is because Soul Demon Hunter's Shard Shatter Mystic is very, very good in this meta. It does 3 damage to everything. No conditions. It just does 3 damage to everything. So it's very good in this meta. It's proven itself multiple times that 3 damage AoE is a very sweet breakpoint to be dealing. And we can also see that 2 damage is not a good thing to be dealing, because Priest has access to 2 AoEs that I'm going to pull up right now. They're called Breath of the Infinite for 3 mana. This one, as well as Holy Nova, which is their classic spell that they both deal 2, and they both see absolutely no play. Priest, a class known for its really good removal, does not play either of those cards, and so we can tell that 2 is not a good damage to do if you're an AoE. And so, going through all of the viable Warlocks right now, we have a Zulok, which will not run this, because in Zulok you do run cards that are not demons, and you prefer not to kill your own cards by accident. Zulok also historically has never needed to run AoE at all, because they are very good at claiming the board when they are meta. And Control Galalock or Control Questlock of some sort would probably not consider it, because both of those decks have much stronger ways to remove minions in the form of Dark Skies, in the form of Plague of Flames, in the form of Crazed Netherwing, which does deal 3. So, yeah, this is a 3-star card for me.
Yeah, and Crazed Netherwing is just better. It's a better body. It's a dragon. It synergizes with Nether Breath. So there's just more reasons to play that package over this. Probably won't find room for this.
Synergize with Moarg Artificer, making your Nether Breath do more. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not gonna give it 1 stars because it does have some possibilities. We don't know yet. Like, this AoE is just, I mean, on surface, it's a very powerful card. I think this is a 2-star card.
Yeah, we do have to see. This is definitely not a 1-star card. That much is guaranteed. The card itself is super powerful. As soon as there's some kind, for example, Paladin has a Silverhand Recruit theme being pushed, where Silverhand Recruits are a bunch of 1/1s, right? So there's potential for this Fire Breather to just clear a bunch of Silverhand Recruits and deny the Paladin a lot of board presence and Balloon Merchant, denying the Paladin a Balloon Merchant is a really viable thing that this Fire Breather could do if such a aggro Paladin would exist. Yeah, denying this card. So just killing all the Silverhand Recruits so this card doesn't land a Battle Cry on any of them is a good thing that this card could do, Fire Breather. But this is all speaking of ifs and it depends. So
All right.
Let's move on though. We're moving on now to another Warlock card. This one is, oh man, is it chaotic. Speaking of chaotic, oh, that was a horrible segue. Whoa, that was bad. Well, it's Deck of Chaos. That's what the card's called. Deck of Chaos is a 6-mana legendary Warlock spell. So this is the other legendary. Wait, did Warlock get a legendary already? Oh, whatever. It's a legendary Warlock spell, and it's 6 mana. Swap the cost and attack of all minions in your deck. Okay, Taco, you take this one first. I got no clue.
Yeah, I tried. I stared at this for a while, or I stared at the card pool for a while, trying to figure out like how to make this work. And it's a pretty interesting card. Like if you have an Argent Commander, it's a 4-mana 6/2 rush, which is an insanely good card. But I can't really figure out where this would belong, because if you're playing a deck like that, it means that you probably want to be semi-aggressive, and like a Flame Imp, that's a 2-mana. What would a Flame Imp be? A 2-mana.
It'd be a 3-mana.
A 3-mana 2/2. That's just terrible.
Oh no, it'd be a 3-mana 1/2 actually.
All right, a 1/2.
It swaps the cost and attack. Yeah.
Right. That would just be terrible. So you probably want to play this as like more of a control mid-range thing. And the closest thing that we've seen cards like this before, Luna's Pocket Galaxy completely broke the meta when it went from 7 mana to 5 mana, but that didn't really put any restrictions on the quality of the minions that you put in. So you still played really, really good mage minions. And then you played Luna's Pocket Galaxy, everything costs 1, whereas this, you're kind of forced to play awkward cards that might be awkward to get there. And I don't think a deck like that can be built. It's possible this is good, but I tried, and I think this is a 2-star card.
Okay. So 2 stars, what you're saying.
Yep.
Yeah, when I told you I had no clue, I really meant it. I've got this, in my notes, I have this card as anywhere from 1 star to 5 stars. I have no clue about this card. It is definitely the first effect that has ever been this, like, crazy and chaotic. There it is again. Chaotic. So when I tried to evaluate this card, I was thinking, okay, we're going to swap the cost and attack of all of our minions in our deck, right? So we're looking for really high cost cards that have very low attack. Mm-hmm. And so I flipped through my collection, and the only thing I could really there were 3 things I found in the Warlock class that like satisfied this condition that I would be wanting to discount, and one of them is Malygos. You get a 4-mana 9/12 Malygos if Malygos is still in your deck, right? So this card only discounts things that are still in your deck, right? So if you draw Malygos, then you don't discount Malygos. And also you have to find how to spend like 6 mana doing nothing. This is a 6 mana do nothing is what it really is. It does nothing to impact the board. It does nothing to develop your hand. It just makes everything in your deck different. And so Malygos is one thing I was looking for. Yeah, you could do some kind of OTK with Malygos, some kind of combo deck. We had that in Questlock last expansion. Maybe we can try and do it again with some kind of Malygos discount with Deck of Chaos. The other thing I wanted to the other thing that caught my eye was this card right here, Archwitch Willow, which is an 8-mana 5/5 that would be actually a 5-mana 8/5, which cheats out demons from your hand and deck. So you could build some kind of big demon deck where Archwitch Willow is what you're looking to discount, or either that or the demons that she's trying to pull out. For example, one of them being this Enhanced Dreadlord, which would be a 5-mana 8/7 taunt, which is like these are all like really cool cards. But we haven't seen Warlock be able to put these cards together in this expansion to make something powerful happen. So I don't think Deck of Chaos, with its mana cheat and kind of the heavy investment that you have to pay for Deck of Chaos, I don't think that will be very strong either. So I have it leaning on 1 star, but it could literally be anywhere between 1 and 5. Some genius out there is going to figure out a deck, and it's going to be a 5-star card all of a sudden. So.
Yeah, I think there was a card there that we skipped over that might change. Like Malygos, yeah, I didn't think about that. But the other one is Valdris. Valdris is a 7-mana 4/4, right? That draws 4 cards, increases your hand size.
So this would be a 4-mana 7/4.
It'd be a 4-mana. I don't even care what the attack is. 4-mana draw 4 for a body. That a body is semi-decent. Like that's pretty good. There might be something here with the Malygos thing, or maybe
convince me. Right now, you just convinced me a little bit right now that I would like to see a 4-mana draw 4. That would be amazing. And this actually, Valdris actually looks like it could fit in this deck as well, because you would like to draw all your discounted cards after you played the deck of Chaos, and that's a perfect curve, right? 6 into 7.
Yep, and if you draw them, it's not even that big of a deal because you could just plot twist and maybe like get lucky and whatever, shuffle them out, it goes back in. I mean, it's something Warlock does already. This might be higher than a 2. There might be something here.
So we're looking at some kind of quest lock with plot twists that also could high roll some of these.
That can high roll, yeah.
Yeah, so I have quest lock if it's going to be in the meta. I have some kind of Cthulhu package in mind for that. We could be trying some kind of deck of chaosing the Cthulhu to make it a 6 mana 10/6 with that effect. I don't know. There's a lot of things you could do with this that I'm not sure if it's strong enough or not. But yeah, I could be convinced. I mean, I have it anywhere from 1 to 5 stars. So
I'm gonna bump this up to a 3 now. I think about it. Yeah, the old gods as well. Like
I've convinced you for 3 stars. I'm still stuck on 1 to 5. Yeah, I've got no clue.
3.
I'm waiting to see. Like I'm actually waiting to see. I guess. Honestly, I don't think it's good enough right now. I'm gonna have to see something else, but I'm actually leaning on just 1 star still. But right. I'm ready to be wrong. I'm ready to be really wrong. So if some genius out there figures out a deck, I'm ready to be wrong. Please, Hearthstone community, please show me. I've got nothing for this card. Right. But yeah, let's move on. So this is the deck of Chaos, and Blizzard did release another deck of blank. It is the deck of Lunacy. And it is a legendary mage spell. And it is a 2 mana mage spell that transforms spells in your deck into ones that cost 3 or more. But those spells keep their original cost. So for example, if there's a Ray of Frost in your deck, and you play Deck of Lunacy, it would change that Ray of Frost into a 4 mana spell. Not mage specific, it could be a 4 mana from any class spell, but that spell would cost 1. And so I have this card at a certified 1 star. This effect is actually I do have to admit this effect is super strong. This level of mana cheat is really obscene. But this card itself is way too volatile, and it just, you can get like some of the most busted stuff off of this card, but you could also get some of the most useless stuff off of this card, because it is random, and randomly transforming my entire deck of cards that I put in there for a reason is not something I'm looking to do as a player, and I'd be very surprised if that's strong, even despite all this mana cheat, because I want to play cards that I know are in my deck, and I want to have a game plan, and this really throws my game plan completely out the window, and I just have to top deck whatever and hope that it gives me a game plan. Yeah, so I'm not looking forward to this card being viable, even though it is very strong. So yeah, 1 star.
Yeah, I can see. I think this is a 1 star card for sure. You're probably not going to be able to build a viable strategy around this, but this thing is like someone's going to play Wand Thief or Wand Maker. They're going to get the magic trick. They're going to play Deck of Lunacy, and they might beat you. It's going to happen. I'm so glad this isn't a 1 mana card.
wait, why did you go through such hoops? You were so right. You could just play a Wand Thief to pick this up. Yeah, you went through the Wand Maker, or the magic trick.
Wand Maker's more likely. The magic trick, like that's something that's just going to happen.
Yeah.
I'm so glad this isn't 1 mana for that reason. I think this will get played, but not for the reason of like the fact that somebody decided this was a great idea to put in their deck. I can totally see this. Like there might be desperate situations where you're in a losing position. You go for that high roll. So this is going to be very interesting in the meta. But I mean, if you're building something around this, it's not going to work. This is a 1 star card.
If you're building a deck around this, that is a certified beam deck. So props to you.
Yeah.
But yeah, not for me for competitive reasons.
If you're building around this deck, you're better off playing the Cobalt Spellkins, the Wand Thieves, the Wand Makers, and generating this while still having a solid core.
Yeah,
I do a much better deck than playing this.
Before we close out on the Deck of Lunacy, I do want to mention that we do have a spell mage idea, like a spell only mage idea currently in Standard, where you get payoff cards for playing spells only, like Font of Power, actually we're closer to Apexis Blast. We get this Apexis Blast effect, which is a really strong card, with a huge deck building restriction, or Font of Power, which is also a really, really strong card with a huge deck building restriction. Both of those saying you have to have no minions in your deck. So you could have just a huge deck of spells and then have Deck of Lunacy be a card in here to kind of high roll your opponents in the end game. But yeah, this deck is tier like I don't even know if it's tier 4. I don't even if it qualifies as tier 4. So I don't think Deck of Lunacy is going to make this deck suddenly tier 4 or tier 3 or higher. I don't think it will. So yeah, still 1 star for me.
Yeah, I wonder if Blizzard's gonna do a deck of blank for every class. It'd be interesting
I'm
to see.
super curious. I feel like they'll do it for a few classes, but not all of them. It kind of look well. We got a Warlock and we got a Warlock and we got a Mage, but those are like I have no clue. Yeah, let's not theory craft on that too much. We'll see when they release it. But let's move on to the next card.
Next card,
which is okay. This one's a rough one to pronounce. So
Sage.
I've got it as Sage. It could be Sage. It could be
probably Sage.
Sagi. I have no clue. I'm gonna go with Sage. It sounds cool. Like this was like a mystic type thing. So we're gonna go with Sage. Seer of Darkmoon. This is the other Mage Legendary card of the set. It is a 6 mana 5/5 battle cry. Draw 1 card. And that is upgraded for each friendly secret that has triggered this game. So what that means is if 1 secret has triggered this game, Sage will draw 2 cards, and if 2 secrets have been triggered this game, Sage will draw 3 cards. So Taco, this is yours. Take it away.
Yep. I think this is a 1-star card. At the value of what it is, it's a 6 mana 5/5, so it's not a great tempo play. We can compare this in the past to a Lunith, which drew 3 cards every turn. So if this is a 1-turn a Lunith, it's kind of awkward because in order to get that same effect, you had to like triggered secrets earlier, and like what are you doing playing secrets, mage secrets? Unless of course they have to reveal some kind of crazy tempo secret. Mm-hmm. In short, I don't think Secret Mage, from what I've seen, is a viable package at the time at this point. And if you're playing something like this, like you wanted to draw a lot of cards, you want to have like that early snowball mechanic so that you can get to your fireballs, your frostbolts, and close out games, which is what Lunith does really well. Mm-hmm. And this doesn't feel like it's going to do it. Upgrade for each friendly secret, so it draws 1 card. At 6 mana, like, what are you doing? You're playing a Kirin Tor Mage on 3. You play another secret, you maintain that tempo, or you just play a secret for 3 mana. You play another secret on turn 4, so it's going to draw 3 cards on curve. That's pretty good, but like that turn 4 is really awkward. I just don't see that being a viable aggro option. As a control deck, there's probably better things you can do than playing secrets and playing understated minions to draw cards. Like Mage has a lot of cheating mechanics. This is just not one of it.
Yeah, I agree with most of what you said. Actually, I agree with everything you said. Actually, we just ended up on different star ratings. I have it as 3 stars instead of 1, because I believe in the secret passage. Not secret passage. That's a rogue card. I believe in the secret package being somewhat viable as a small package in another deck. I agree with you. This does not look like it's going to be a standalone aggressive deck. We are still missing a tempo secret that's not Netherwind Portal, and we're still missing a way to cheat out secrets. Because it really, really sucks to play a 3 mana Mage secret by spending 3 mana on it. These secrets are not high tempo, besides Netherwind Portal, and they are really, really low impact onto the board. And so I'm looking forward to see if they maybe will print another secret for Mage. Mage I currently have at 5 out of 8 cards revealed, so they've got 3 more cards to show me a tempo secret, or a way to cheat out a secret, or a way to draw secrets like Archaeologist. And maybe I would buy stock in a Secret Mage if any of those were to be fulfilled. But for now, yeah, I'm going to lean onto a 3-star for this card. Very strong card, really, really strong. I'm surprised you gave it 1 star, actually, because the other day when we were viewing the Rogue Legendary, which was a 6 mana 5/7 draw card, you were really optimistic for that one, and this is kind of like that as well.
I think it's different because the game plan of that deck that I imagined was a more mid-range deck, whereas I felt like this is more of an aggro deck. Or maybe that's just how Secret Mage has always been played. And as an aggro deck, like this is kind of slow.
It is pretty slow. That's true.
For what it does. Whereas you kind of have time. With that other card, the 6 mana 5/7 draw 2, it goes into something that's probably a little bit slower, like and able to get to that point of where it's going to like steamroll the opponent or cheat something out later on.
Oh yeah, for viewers that are listening, I was talking about Grand Empress Shekzara, which Taco was really high on. I think he gave us 3 stars the other day. And yeah, I guess I think Secret Mage is looking mid-range if you try and force it right now, just because you have Cloud Princes that are at 5, and so you do need to get to those middling mana costs. And I mean, this is an amazing payoff for Secret Mage right here, Sage. And so I would really think that they're going for more of a mid-range idea. We'll see where it goes. We've got a lot of secret payoffs currently in Standard. We just need good secrets and a way to get them onto the board efficiently. So yeah. I'm hopeful. I really do want to play some Secret Mage in Standard again. I miss it.
I have mixed feelings about that. All right, next card.
It's crazy and wild, and I'd love to do something like that in Standard. But yeah, next card is Grebo. This is a 5 mana Druid legendary. It is the other legendary that is not Kiri, and is a 5 mana 4/6 taunt with Death Rattle. Give a random friendly minion the Death Rattle, summon Grebo. So, just to kind of make that a little more clear, this is a 5 mana 4/6 taunt, which gives another minion the ability to resummon this minion upon dying. So you're kind of cycling Grebos, is what it is. And I have Grebo currently as a 3-star card. And I think it's a 3-star card not because it fits into any Druid decks right now that we know of. Druid, across these past, like, 3 or 4 expansions, has always had the same idea of, like, let's ramp, and then play our big endgame cards. And very often, they play Overgrowth, and they completely skip over this 5 mana point. Completely, where Grebo is currently resting at. And they go straight to 7 mana or 8 mana, and they start playing their big endgame bombs, like Mount Cellar, or Ysera, or like GA, or like Overflow, and they completely forget about this 5-cost slot. So, and that's fine, because I don't think Grebo fits in those decks. Grebo, according to his Death Rattle, really loves it when there are other minions that are beside it, so that its Death Rattle can actually land on one of those minions, and then you can resummon Grebo and kind of keep cycling him in and out, in and out, in and out. And so GA, the GA Druid, and as well as the Spell Druid of last expansion, they really didn't have a lot of minions on the board on 5 mana, and so it was it'd be very difficult for Grebo to work with those minions, with those decks in those decks. And when those decks had minions on the board, they were really strong minions that were already flipping the game. Like GA, for example, when GA Druid plays Guardian Animals, they pop off and they do a lot of crazy endgame things that Grebo really doesn't really have room for or space in, or like any place in that deck after GA is played. So I have Grebo at 3 stars because of Token Druid, and I think Token Druid really appreciates Grebo. Token Druid and Grebo synergize a lot because Token Druid has a bunch of small minions that are really weak, and they often get value traded by other decks. Those tokens get value traded by other decks, and Grebo is going to be able to protect those little tokens that are so vulnerable to getting value traded because it has Taunt, and it's a really strong, respectable Taunt minion. 4/6. This is a Druid of the Claw stat line. Druid of the Claw has not seen play in a long time, but when it did see play, it was very strong. The stats were really respectable, and this is just Druid of the Claw but better, because then after it does its job of protecting these little tokens, the Death Rattle will bounce onto one of those tokens, and then you can trade a token in to get Grebo back, and that's essentially a free 4/6 taunt, and that's really amazing. So I'm really hopeful. We do have Token Druid cards in rotation right now. A few strong ones, such as Adorable Infestation, Acorn Bearer, Gibberling is something we can work towards. Another one is Dreamway Guardians, and yeah, Power of the Wild's always been here and stuff like that. So yeah, that's what I got. That's all I got.
Yeah, I think this is a 1-star card, and
after my spiel.
I don't think
Man.
I think you're right about Token Druid, but the way Token Druid has always functioned is that it tries to make a board that's really sticky, and then it just like OTKs the opponent with Savage Roar and whatever. This kind of doesn't like it fits in that game plan because of how easy it is to have a minion on the board, but it doesn't kill the opponent. And we still have a lot of tools in Standard right now that are capable of killing the opponent. We still have Savage Roars, we still have swipes. We got the Twin Spell, that a Blessing of the Ancients, the Twin Spell, that buffs +1/+1, Power of the Wild, and so on and so on. And it's just better to play those things to win the game than to make this sticky board that just makes the game longer. When Druid historically has just been so good, like Token Druid has been just so good at just winning the game in one turn like that. Yeah, and I was also really high on Solar Eclipse and Lunar Eclipse, and Solar Eclipse especially because I believe that's even more reason for Grebo wouldn't fit that deck, because you could Solar Eclipse out a Savage Roar, make something sticky, and just win a game. What I might be wrong about is maybe Grebo does make your board a little bit stickier, but you're paying 5 mana, and at that point, you kind of have to make a decision of what you're trying to do. Are you trying to win the game by going face, or are you just going to like starve your opponent out of resources? And if you're building your deck in that way, you probably didn't build your deck as a control deck. If you put Grebo, if you're relying on like token, if you're relying on Token Druid as your theme.
No, I actually, upon hearing your reasoning, it makes a lot of sense why this wouldn't be too good in that deck. There is ways to cheat him out though. For example, like blooming into him. But again, I think you're totally right. I guess with why don't we bloom out like something else? Why don't we bloom out like a board buff or something? Why don't we bloom out like Soul of the Forest or like something like that, which is making the board really sticky and hard to remove. I guess, man, I'm really optimistic about this one. I don't know why. It's hard for me to reduce it to 2 stars, but I'm really getting ready to do so. It's, man, I really want this one to be good. Druid's not in a good spot right now, so I kind of want them to have anything like almost to boost their positioning in the meta. I guess, yeah, this one's 2 stars. I can't really say this is 3 stars. It's just, sadly, you're right. It's not winning the game. Like it's gonna be grinding out resources, and at best it's gonna protect like 1 or 2 tokens that you have on the board that stuck from the turn before, and that's just not enough. You just want to keep kind of vomiting minions on the board, and at some point cast Soul of the Forest to stick for longer. I also reduced it to 2 stars just now because Soul Demon Hunter is just so good at just blasting your board to pieces with Shard Shatter Mystic. And the new Warlock card we just saw, Fire Breather, that I'm just going to go click right back into, is just so deadly to Token Druid if it ever arises. Yeah, I'm not as optimistic, I guess, about this card. Ah, man, it's so fun. Rest in peace, Grebo. 2 stars. Alright. Yeah, let's move on, though.
Just wait, that ends up being the best card of the set.
I hope, I really do. I'm hopeful. I love Token Druid as a style. But yeah, moving on, let's go on to Ringling's Rifle. This is a Hunter Legendary weapon. It is a 4-mana 2/2 Hunter Legendary weapon. After a hero attacks, discover a spell and cast it.
Or discover a secret and cast it.
Oh, wow, my bad. Not discover a spell. Whoa. Not discover. That'd be really broken. But it's still pretty good. Discover a secret and cast it.
Yeah, this is I think this is a pretty clear 5-star card. We have Face Stalker, which on turn 4 gives you a 2/3. You hero power, you get a secret. And this for 4 mana, so you're paying the same thing. You get a weapon, you attack. Kind of doing the same thing, except you're not putting bad secrets in your deck. Although if you play this card, you're probably playing some kind of secret hunter, so you're going to run secrets anyways. It's just standalone. It's just a good card. It's a solid card. And discovering the secrets, like you can choose the one that would be good in your situation. And have we seen any new hunter secrets?
No, we haven't yet.
In this expansion? Not yet? Okay.
Nope.
There probably will be one.
There's probably one.
Blizzard did push the card that I thought was a 1-star card, which might be good if mid-range.
Say it right now. Say it. I want you to say it.
We'll see. I don't know.
No. Say the card's name. Say it. You better remember this card. You're going to be seeing it.
I don't remember the name of that card.
It's called Petting Zoo.
Petting Zoo. There it is.
Yes, you called it 1 star, but it's probably 5 stars now, isn't it? It's
we'll
definitely
see.
not 1 star. I'll tell you that.
one rifle isn't gonna make it. It isn't gonna make it like increase in 4 stars.
Oh,
I
you don't think so? Okay,
I
finish up.
think like after seeing the paladin stuff, I definitely think face hunter is not the way to go.
Yeah, face hunter, full on face hunter is not the way to go.
Yeah, it's not the way to go anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, I digress. This is a 5-star card.
Are you done? I'm about to give you some words here. All right, this is 5 stars. Really, really strong card. Mid-range Secret Hunter is certainly on the table, especially with Petting Zoo being like with this rifle and Petting Zoo in your deck. Petting Zoo really starts to play like the Hunter Spellstone. It really does. And the Hunter Spellstone, once again, hard carried Hunter when it was in Standard, and after it rotated, it was still. I mean, Hunter in Wild is really bad, but I'm sure they would love to play a Spellstone if there's ever a deck that becomes viable for Hunter in Wild. Rest in peace, Hunter. But let me present to you a curve that might change your mind about Petting Zoo. Okay, 3 mana. You play a bow, you swing with it. 4 mana, you swing with the bow, and you play Ringling's Rifle. Right. So now you're holding Ringling's Rifle, 5 mana. You swing Ringling's Rifle. You put a secret in play with its effect, and that's on turn 5. You then slam your Petting Zoo down, 3 mana, 6/6, hero power, right? Then on turn 4, you swing with Ringling's Rifle again, put another secret in play. Then you slam Hyena Alpha, 4 mana, 7/7, hero power.
Mm-hmm.
If all of those stats actually connect with face, it was 13/13 stats over 2 turns, right? And if everything connects with face, it's 13 damage, followed by 4 damage from your hero power, followed by 4 damage from Ringling's Rifle. So that's 8, 21. That's 21 damage without completely ignoring the bow. So if you get a smooth curve with Hunter in this, you deal 21 damage over 2 turns. I mean, over 2 turns, which is amazing. 21 damage in Hunter over 2 turns. That's insane. And we're not even considering what if your Petting Zoo is actually a 3 mana 9/9. What if you had 2 secrets up, right? And that is completely insane. Like if it could actually summon 9/9 stats for 3 mana, we are talking about Hunter, like Stone, like right there. If it could actually consistently do that. So yeah, this is 5 stars. I maintain that Petting Zoo is 5 stars. I hope Taco changes his mind too, because I think this is mid-range Secret Hunter is a
we
thing.
were in phase 1.
We're in phase 1. We're still in phase 1.
Yeah. Just about that curve. Like now that you mentioned that curve, like maybe there is hope for Face Hunter. Like that totally is a face deck. This might be the thing actually that bridges the gap. My skepticism of why you couldn't play Petting Zoo in a face deck, and this kind of flips it. You can totally play that. This will work. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. At that point, it's not really a face deck because you are playing such a weak weapon, and probably you're not connecting all with face. You're going to be doing some trading because you will have given your opponent enough time to actually amass some kind of counterattack. So that's why I call it mid-range Secret Hunter and not face Secret Hunter. But yeah, we'll see. Like we'll see how that works. Maybe Hunter's secret that they get this expansion. I hope they get one this expansion. Will be a very aggressive one, kind of like explosive runes or something crazy like that. Yeah, we'll see. If it's like that, then we can go back to face Secret Hunter and just ram him in the face.
Yep.
But yeah, I do want to bring up. I do hope you change your evaluation of Petting Zoo. It's not a 1-star card, right? Like, can we get that off the table?
It's not a 1-star card with Ringling Rifles.
Okay, that's all I want. You don't have to tell me how many stars. That's all I want. I want you to just say you're wrong. All right. All right. So last card of this set is Lathraxian, the Redeemed. It is a 5 mana Paladin legendary. I think that's how you pronounce that. Lathraxian. That looks good.
Lathraxian sounds good.
5 mana 5/5 Paladin legendary. Battle Cry. Oh, it's also a demon. We got to put that on the board. That is very important for Paladin right now. Battle Cry, for the rest of the game, after you summon a Silverhand recruit, give it Divine Shield. Okay, there's a lot to unpack here. And I think, well, first of all, let me give the rating, right? I think this is a 4-star card. I think this is a 4-star card. There is a lot of stuff to unpack here. First of all, it's a demon, so we do have to think about N'Zoth Paladin, which is kind of on its path. I did try building a N'Zoth Paladin, like with these new cards in it. It's very clunky with a lot of cards in the 5s and 6s, with a lot of cards in the 5 mana slot. You can't really fit in the Libram package, so I'm a little doubting the N'Zoth Paladin, just a little bit. But I think that with Lathraxian, with Balloon Merchant, and with Day at the Fair, where's Balloon Merchant? Balloon Merchant, which we clicked on earlier, with Balloon Merchant, with Day at the Fair, and with Air Raid, we could conceivably build some kind of aggressive Paladin, curving really low, kind of with Lathraxian at the top, which changes your hero power into summoning Argent Squires instead for 2 mana. Sounds a little unimpressive, but it is a hero power that's doing this right now. So it is very strong. This effect is really, really powerful. Air Raid will come out with 2 Divine Shield taunts. Day of the Fair will come out with 5 Divine Shield taunts or 3 Divine Shield. No, not taunts.
Mm-hmm.
They'll come with 5 Divine Shields or 3 Divine Shields, depending on if it's corrupt or not. And yeah, I think that's really, really strong for an aggressive Paladin, because that makes the board really, really sticky. It makes it really resilient to things like Shard Shatter Mystic, the Fire Breather, and yeah, you could just push face damage the entire time. Aggro Paladin does have some things going for it. First Day at School is a really strong card. Hand of Adal, another really strong card. It's got a really good weapon, the 3 mana 3/2, the Underlight Angling Rod, I believe it's called, and that's pretty aggressive. Like, you laugh. I heard you laugh, but it is a decently aggressive weapon that you could be looking to put into a aggressive Paladin deck. It does generate you value as well. You can play these Murlocs, and there's more stuff coming on the board. This is also a decently aggressive stat line. Eagle Horn Bow is running all of the Hunters. And that's a 3 mana 3/2 as well, with some upside, and this has upside too, I think. So, all in all, I'm doubting this will be in a pure Paladin. I'm doubting this will be in an N'Zoth Paladin, and so we're looking for a new deck here. And I think Aggro Paladin does make the cut potentially. I'm gonna call that a tier 3 deck for now. I don't know; it could be a tier 2, but yeah, 4 stars for this. Oh, and I will also say I am wrong. I think I am wrong. So you admitted you're wrong. I admit I'm wrong. I'm going to go back and retroactively change my rating for Balloon Merchant down to a 4 stars. I think all of these Silverhand Paladin cards either live together or die together. So I should give them all the same rating, 4 stars for this. And also I will bump up my 2-star for Day at the Fair to 4 stars.
Oh, wow. So I kind of agreed with yours. So I was laughing at Angling Rod, not because it would be a bad choice in Aggro Paladin, but because... if only it gave you Silverhand recruits.
Oh, instead of Murlocs? Yeah.
Instead of Murlocs. Yeah, I wasn't really sure about this. I was between 4 and 5. And I think I'll settle on 4. But I don't think this goes into an Aggro Paladin, because I don't think Aggro Paladin really exists in our current situation, where we don't have Divine Favor, we don't have Baku, like ways to continuously flood and sustain. You kind of need something later on to be able to, like, once all the pressure is gone, you kind of need something unfair, whether that's N'Zoth, Librams, or Hammer of the Naru, or whatever that card may be.
Right, Hammer of the Naru, yeah.
Yeah. But as a mid-range deck with Silverhand recruits, which is kind of weird, because I don't think we'll ever see something like that, or we've never seen anything like that before, this might work. Like, being able to change your hero power into something that's 2 mana that gives you a 1/1 Divine Shield for the rest of the game, that's insane value. But the fit of this is a little bit weird. I could totally see this being 1 star, but as of right now, like, just how powerful this is and the synergies that we have, some mid-range Divine Shield Paladin could conceivably exist. And yeah, maybe that's tier 2, 4 stars.
Oh, tier 2. Okay, sure. I'll take a tier 2. But yeah, I think you're totally right. We do need something slightly more unfair than just summoning Argent Squires for 2 mana. So maybe Hammer of the Naru is actually the topper of that curve. That's a really unfair card, to be honest. So I like that. And you were talking about maybe, like, gassing out, not having enough card draw, and I kind of agree, and that's why I think Underlight Angling Rod makes it in this deck, to kind of fake the card draw. And also, the power of Lathraxian is kind of like card draw, because you are paying 2 mana to summon an Argent Squire. It's as if you drew an Argent Squire for 1 mana and then played the Argent Squire, you know? So that's a kind of pretty sweet sounding effect, kind of top decking an Argent Squire and putting it in play for 2 mana. It's again not really powerful when you think of it as an Argent Squire, but think of it as not costing you a card, and that's really what's powerful.
Yeah, I would say that's like reducing your hero power probably by like half a mana. Like, an Argent Squire will be 1 mana, but if you get it for no cards, it's probably like not quite 2 mana, but like a half mana discount. It's pretty good.
I'm willing to pay 2 mana for that, honestly. But
If it ever,
I do want to emphasize again. You do have to play this before that effect occurs. This is a
Yep.
battle cry, and it is not a start of game effect. So
right.
it is dependent on you drawing and playing Lathraxian.
Yep.
So
and you also have to play it at a time where a 5-mana 5/5 doesn't like lose you the game.
yeah, true. It is understated. This card is understated. We can't look away from that. Yeah, I think that's roughly about it. This would be awesome in N'Zoth Paladin if N'Zoth Paladin could fit it. It is a demon, a tribe that Paladin does not currently have a minion for, and this is it. And hey, if you can summon a demon off of N'Zoth, that'd be cool too.
Yep.
But yeah, other than that, currently 4 stars for not being a N'Zoth Paladin. Okay. Do you have anything more to add for this?
Nope.
All right. Since you have nothing more to add, that wraps up the episode. But before I let you go, Taco, I think what we did last time with recapping what we think is the strongest class right now was pretty cool, and I think we should do that again. So let me ask you the question: what do you think is the strongest class right now after we've seen more of these cards being revealed?
Let's see. I don't know if anything changed. I think Warlock definitely has the highest upside because of that deck of chaos. Like that could just completely break the game.
Oh yeah, they have the most potential, right? Like we don't know about this card. This is a big question mark to us.
This is really hard to judge. I had to move it up just because the more I look at it, the better it just seems.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely not an aggro deck. Like 6 mana do nothing is never something you want to do in aggro. But there's some combo, some stupid thing that's gonna like make the game really or it's gonna make the game fun for the Warlock and unfun for everyone else. I don't think Mage really got anything interesting. Druid is still what it is, what we saw. I think Paladin, I don't think anything really changed. I think Demon Hunter kind of is fleshed out a little. How many Demon Hunter? We still have a couple more, right?
We have 7 out of 13 Demon Hunter cards, so Demon Hunter has still plenty of cards to impress us with.
Right.
I think you're slightly alluding to Paladin being still the best. I kind of agree.
Yeah.
We still have Hammer of the Naru. We still have Ural here. What do you think is second, since Paladin is kind of the first?
Oh wow, Hunter looks really interesting now with Ringling Rifle and Pet whatever.
Petting Zoo. You better learn the name of that card. It's going to be seeing play. You're going to see it. Ringling's Rifle.
This is just the card that does it, bridges that gap. This might be something.
Hunter's looking sweet. Oh my bad. Keep going.
Oh, I was just saying, Mage doesn't look like it's going to do anything good. Rogue is in that awkward spot of like, these cards are good, but Galakron exists, so
Rogue's looking pretty good just off of Tenwu alone. But yeah, I guess So here's my 1, 2, 3, right? I think Paladin, Hunter, either Demon Hunter or Rogue. That's my 1, 2, 3. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I might put Warlock up there just because of Deck of Chaos.
Okay, that's fair.
We have no idea about Priest also. That's just
or Shaman.
Mystery as well.
Shaman is a bigger mystery. They've got Dunk Tank revealed, and that is all. They've got this really strong removal card printed that we revealed in episode 1. We reviewed this in episode 1, said it was a 5-star card, and we have no clue what the rest of Shaman looks like.
Yeah.
Could easily be a 1-star card depending on the rest of Shaman, but
yeah.
It looks strong. We got to see the rest of it to say.
Oh, we forgot Warrior. I think Warrior last time was pretty high up on our list, but it's really hard to tell, and I think that's why we're gonna stick with Phase 1.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't know what we're playing against. We just know Paladin can build a wall. That's it.
We're likely to stay with Phase 1 until we get more until the card dump happens on the 11th. Oh, today is the 9th of November. Until the 11th happens, we're likely to stay until Phase 1. When the card dump happens and all the cards get revealed, we will try to be a lot more specific. We will go completely jump Phase 2 and go straight to Phase 3, where we're going to say, this is a Tier 3 deck for sure, and this will see play in that deck, and so this gets this many stars. And we're gonna do more bold and strict statements like that when we enter that phase of the review. But for now, I enjoy this kind of mishy-mashy, not quite saying anything, just saying kind of what potential the card has, and looking forward to the rest of the set. Yeah, other than that, if you have nothing else to say, I think we're about to end the episode right here.
All right.
Well, see you guys for episode 5.
All right, see y'all next time.
Bye.